Another 2 parts, the Eternal Empire. We are not restricted anymore, but we're still gonna have Nezha in the lead party. Lineup. It's question marks, so we'll bring along Melts as the lead. Mash is locked into that dress, so let's go. Section 2. Eternal Empire strikes back. The Emperor of Qin Shi Huang.
Ha, Qin Shi Huang, you say? Don't you think that's a little far-fetched? Qin Shi Huang is from the BC era. How could he possibly still be alive in 2020?
Well, normally you'd be right, but you're forgetting the Tsar we just recently fought, who'd been living for around 500 years. So is it really such a stretch that the Chinese Emperor might have survived over 2,000 years?
The Qin Empire had a legal system, standardized units of measurement, paper money. It was very much ahead of its time in many ways. China would go on to see the rise and fall of many other dynasties. But when it comes to making progress as a civilization, such instability is unhelpful. If Qin had remained the sole power in China, no doubt it would have reached a point where it would easily swallow neighboring countries, which could in turn have sped up humanity's overall progress considerably.
Yep, I could easily see that happening if someone like Qin Shi Huang had been able to keep on ruling. In fact, he actually spent a lot of his later years searching for a way to achieve immortality. Qin collapsed due to political instability after Qin Shi Huang's death, right?
In which case, if Qin somehow succeeded at becoming immortal in this history, much like how Ivan the Terrible did so by becoming a Yaga, it would be theoretically possible for China to skip all of its years of instability and civil war and go straight to modernization.
That could definitely explain how they were able to build something so huge along the satellite orbit path. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the sort of thing Qin wanted to build all along.
One thing we do know is that this nation has not yet seen this kind of societal change that typically accompanies scientific progress. The advancement of science inevitably makes authoritarian regimes obsolete past a certain point, but just look at that village.
Yeah, they might as well still be stuck in the BC era.
Regardless of who this most glorious and majestic heavenly emperor residing in Jiangyang may be, it's clear he has no intention of sharing the benefits of all this progress with his citizens.
Hang on! Some sort of projectile was just fired from the capital. It's headed in this direction. In fact, it looks like it's gonna land right in this village.
Uh-oh. They have cannon fire!
I can see from here, it looks like a rocket.
I certainly hope it's not some sort of intercontinental ballistic missile.
That's probably exactly what it is, Holmes.
Or that's a benefaction.
Benefaction.
Yeah, the most glorious and majestic heavenly emperor uses those grand gifts whenever there's a celebration. We know exactly where it lands, so it's perfectly safe as long as you keep your distance. Why would there be one now, though? Is today some sort of holiday?
I don't think so. There's not an attack after all. That's a relief, but it still seems like a rough way to send a package.
Nah, I mean, I'm pretty sure... I'm pretty sure Amazon has like the world record for the fastest delivery of a package by using a ballistic missile. So, you know, I could definitely see a future where such things happen. Where miniature missiles are launched from Amazon shipping warehouses to their target destination.
I'm afraid we're not so lucky. I'm seeing vital signs inside that thing along with a magical energy signal we're all too familiar with. That's a master and their servant, no mistake. If they mean to attack us, we will respond with due force.
Fo!
Oh, come on, you're telling me they're making their way here and that. That does seem a somewhat less than ideal convenience. No doubt it would be a rough landing.
No problem there, since it's a master traveling with their servant.
The servant can handle the landing.
Exactly, so I know you'd know how to make effective use of a servant. Here comes, everyone brace for impact.
So having Melt in the lead here is probably not the best.
As we expected, so this is the Lostbelt's Crypter.
That's Akuda Hinako. I see, so China's her territory. Akuda. Looks like you're taking this seriously, Mash. And here I thought I'd find you smirking. I'd never do that. I take no joy whatsoever in fighting you. Then you're even more hopeless than I thought. You're no better than animals who lack a concept of shame. I feel no more animosity towards you than I do a cockroach nest before I exterminate it. Even that has more emotion than you deserve. That's terrible. Yikes, are you really Akuda Hinako? You're nothing like you were back in Chaldea. Da Vinci, so true, you really were killed. You might not believe me, but that body of yours is perfect. To achieve the realm that humans cannot reach with their insight, the true form that intelligent aim for. I'm surprised you would make something like that, Leonardo. Humans really are just... No. As long as you're part of Chaldea, that makes you my enemy. You'll have no sympathy for me. Saber, eliminate them. Remove those eyesores from my sight.
Okay, so... she has some ideals as well. She likes that Da Vinci is a child, so... maybe Akuda or Hinako... what are they calling her, generally? Akuda. So maybe Akuda thinks the ideal form of humans is when they're still children? I mean, I guess I can... when you're a child, you don't have to worry about a lot of the stresses of adult life? Technically? I don't know. This is just a rough estimation. Or maybe she's just a big fan of the kids next door. Who knows? As you wish, my master.
Here they come, senpai. We're about to face Akuda Hinako and her saber. Cleansing battle.
This is not going to be easy since I have Melt in the lead. But it's Melt. She'll melt away my foes for me. I'm sure. Fatal battle. 315. Oh, and my Mystic Code is disabled. Not usable due to poison. That's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Save Merlin's invincibility for the MP. And we'll fish for Crypter. So that we can do good on Melt. So next turn will be fine. We can at least do Tactician's Advice. And QAA? Yes. That only did about 2,000. Charging. Ooh, that's gonna be annoying. Oh, he's actually doing a lot of freaking damage. I'm realizing. He charges. I'm wearing gloves. That should help. All the ducats of the Melt. Evade Merlin. Heal Merlin. And Melt out. I like how it's question mark for this guy, as if they haven't spoiled who he is already. $67, still not bad actually. But that's not bad. Okay. Illusion. And we probably could have gotten Melt and Key there if we did an Arts Chain, but I also need damage. And we got it anyways. Oh, no end. That's lucky. And he triggered Waver's NP for us as well. How very kind of him. This guy is a kind soul. Giving us a stun, possibly, but some guaranteed defense down. Makes him all the easier to target. No melt virus, sadly, but it's 2 turns, not 3, so it's already better. It could be better, and you know, they could give it another upgrade. Amia's second skill got 2 upgrades, so maybe Melt will get 2 upgrades as well with our Melt virus. Even if it is already EX, it can be EX plus. Yeah. Melt virus EX plus. I like it. Definitely need to do it like this. Still doing damn good damage with Melt, even though she is at a disadvantage. I'm happy with that. Shows how well raised she has been. And Melt to finish things here. Alright, nice and easy. Oh, my neck is a little stiff. Sometimes I just wish I could just take my head and just snap my neck real good, but I'm not a trained chiropractor, so.
I see. No wonder Ophelia and Caddock lost. You're obviously used to fighting with servants. That experience has given you quite an edge.
Master, before she continues this battle any longer, I suggest we make temporary retreat.
Damn, I really underestimated them. Let's go, Saber.
Yes, Master.
Kuda. The enemy has retreated, Master. The battle's over. Fo-fo!
I'm surprised they gave up so easily. Then again, Akuda was always pretty decisive.
No, I'm afraid that was neither that we neither dealt her a decisive blow, nor were we able to make her show her hand.
If anything, now she knows how strong we truly are, but she is a lot stronger than she lets on. Yeah, she's a tough opponent. Looks like she wasn't kidding about exterminating us like cockroaches. She only took the direct approach this time because she thought she could wipe us out. This just wasn't the sort of fight she wanted. She'd rather retreat and sort out the final strategy that will let her win without putting any real effort. Looks like that profile of hers that saying she was a neat freak was right on the money.
You know, excuse me, it kind of just occurred to me, that kind of laziness, is it possible each of the Crypters represents one of the 7 deadly sins? Because I know that the beasts of humanity representing an evil of humanity, they don't actually represent one of the deadly sins. Is it possible they made each of the Crypters represent one of the 7 deadly sins as well? Because thinking about it, Caddock is definitely envious. Ophelia is a bit harder to place, but just based on this dialogue, Akuda sounds like she might be sloth, perhaps? But, Ophelia... I have to think, but, I mean, it's possible there's a correlation there. We don't know too much about the others, I guess. Although, Beryl, I think it was, did seem like an angry man, so maybe wrath for him.
So you went and made a great fool of yourself. We will not laugh at you. Your little show with the Chaldeans was interesting.
I blame no one but myself for my disgraceful performance. So perhaps now you at least understand the threat these invaders pose, Your Imperial Majesty.
Threat, you say? Why should we feel threatened just because you were treated? Well, since your little display amused us, you may continue it. In fact, you may bring 10 of our puppets with you for the second act.
With all due respect, Your Imperial Majesty, if you treat the slightest disaster as mere entertainment.
We might say the same of you, Okuda. Given the reluctance with which you engage in combat, we can only conclude that this is some sort of game to you. If you are going to fight, then fight to win. There is nothing to be gained by running away before you suffer so much as a single loss.
Understood, Your Imperial Majesty. I won't fail again.
Good. We look forward to a future showing with a bit more substance to it.
Oh, Your Imperial Majesty, you're so bad. Is this your way of punishing poor little Akuda?
Is that how it seemed to you, Coleman Sky?
Ko, Yan, Ska, Ya.
Wow, it's nice that they actually did the pronunciation there. Koyanskaya.
We see no sense in pursuing her when we do not yet even think of these Chaldeans as our enemy. They may have come here from another world, but that is also true of you and Akuda.
Huh? Yes, I suppose that's true.
If these Chaldeans are here to mount an attack, we would also have to suspect you two as their advanced guard.
Akuda and I came here to pay our respects and offer our services as soon as we arrived, Your Imperial Majesty. But the only thing Chaldea has done since they arrived is cause trouble and mayhem in your territory. Don't you think that sets us apart kind of a lot?
Indeed, you have a point, but that is not why Akuda went after them, but scold them for their poor manners. You outsiders certainly do care a great deal about etiquette.
So this Kim, he's Mothman, right? Saber, Rider, and I'm guessing these are our 3 mystery servants. We'll take that one, Saber and Rider. There's no good answer here, so we'll just go with Gil. And I want Melt to get bond points so that we can give her the first Chaldean lanterns. That's a good question. What is she like?
Well, the last version of me wasn't too involved with Team A, so I can't speak from experience. But our record said she was extremely careful in every aspect of her relationships to others. That reminds me. Kadek used to say she had a personal connection to Director Maresbury. Really? That's news to me. Then again, I could see her allowing Kadek to believe that. But why would she do that? Probably to keep the kid at arm's length, I guess. I wouldn't be shocked to hear she had similar strategies for everyone. My guess is that she was trying to cultivate a very specific image of herself among Team A. Namely, to leave the faintest impression among them that seemed neither too hostile nor too friendly.
In other words, a stalwart misanthrope.
Well, yeah, basically, but you don't have to be quite so blunt about it, Holmes. True, she did like to keep to herself. She did her best to avoid interacting with anyone. The main thing I remember about her is how quiet she was. I never saw her get her upset or even smile.
If she wasn't curled up in a corner of her room reading, it was because she was getting new books from the library. I always felt bad about interrupting her.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure she wasn't cut out for combat at all, no matter how much aptitude she may have had for being a master. Based strictly on her profile out of all the Crypters. I thought she might be the only one we could maybe resolve things with peacefully.
Well, that couldn't have been more wrong. I'm still getting chills from those icy glares of hers. I've never seen such naked contempt in my life. The only thing that comes close is Koryan's glare whenever I'd make a move on her after having too much to drink.
True, the Akuda Hinako we just fought was nothing like the quiet girl her profile described. Her sheer hostility was... No, not hostility, it was more like disgust. Either way, I never expected that from her. There's only one thing I can remember that might help explain it. It was back when we were all taking a break in the rec room, sometime after Team A had been formed. Kadek was nursing a drink while Beryl cheered them on. Kirshtari and David were arguing about mythology. Pepe was teasing Ophelia with some kind of joke. As usual, Akuda was off by herself reading, refusing to participate in any of the conversations. I am certain that whenever I looked directly at her, she always had her nose in her book. I'm sure anyone else who had been there would agree with me. But when I happened to catch a glimpse of Akuda's reflection in the glass I was polishing, I realized that wasn't the case at all. She was actually just hiding her face behind the book and was in fact keeping a close watch on each of us. She was so guarded, almost as though she was terrified of something. But by the time I turned around to look at her, she had her nose back in her book. She went right back to pretending to read the second she sensed my eyes on her.
Okay, so she's an observant type.
Huh? Well, that seems kind of unnerving. Akuda wasn't disinterested in her teammates at all. If anything, I think she was so suspicious about something that she never let her guard down. Unfortunately, I was never prepared to ask her why she was so afraid of our team. It seemed like a subject I should avoid at all costs. Sounds to me like she was more guarded about people than in general than her teammates specifically. Maybe there was something she was trying to keep secret. We still have her background file, along with the results from her selection exam. Maybe we should take another look at it. Want to handle that, Holmes? That sort of thing is what you detective types are all about, right? That and investigating cheating spouses, of course.
Unfaithful spouses aside, this sort of thing is indeed where a true detective shines. By all means, send the data to my workshop.
Your attention, please. I have the Da Vinci warning to make. Jian Yang just fired another projectile. It doesn't look like this one's aimed at the village. But after calculating its landing point, I found it's coming from the same direction in which Akuta Hinako retreated. And I'm pretty sure that means...
reinforcements. Lovely.
I think so too. Of course, it'd be suicide to send normal soldiers via rockets, so it's probably carrying weaponry. Akuta's almost certainly going to try and attack us again, so we need to be ready to fight back.
Da Vinci, what about the summoning more servants? I believe enough time has passed that it should be more than possible to do so.
Yep, we're all set there. In fact, I just finished summoning right now. Since we're going up against an empire that's tested for thousands of years and its emperor.
Hey,
I decided to bring along the 3 Musketeer Rebels.
Musketeer Rebels.
Mordred, the Rebel of the Round Table.
Sup, guys?
Spartacus, the Liberator of the Slave Gladiators.
Death to all oppressors!
And Jiang Qi, the world's most foremost expert in assassinating Qin Shi Huang.
You know, that is brilliant idea of Da Vinci. Because she probably has conceptual strength against Qin, doesn't she? Because all servants have an increased weakness to whatever it is that kills them conceptually. Like, Herc would be weak to poison. Hydra poison, I believe it is theorized, could take out all of his God Hand lives, if it was applied.
Wait, what? That's why you brought me here?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're just trying to take down the Qin Empire, right? And Qin Shi Huang with it? You're giving me another chance to kill him, right? Oh, this is great. Definitely could have picked anyone better for the job. But what's with the 3 Musketeers thing? You know my spirit origin. Hell, even my noble phantasm has got to be stronger than ever thanks to the fame and tradition boost. So don't come on getting treated like I'm second string. I mean, I don't have any objection to you choosing to summon me, of course. It's just... pitiful.
You know, I think outside of Christmas and maybe Rome, we don't really see much of... what's-her-face.
No, we all hate oppressors here. I will be honored to fight by your side in toppling this one heroic spirit, Assassin Jinky.
Hell yeah, my old man fought Kaldea a bunch of times too, you know. You said this guy's an emperor? No sweat then. I don't know what back-ass word Roman province rules, but I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to off him. Yeah, they're just me or Spartacus' inability to make sense rubbing off on Mordred.
I don't think so. I mean, true, she didn't always make the most sense in Camelot, but she was a huge help to us in London.
You know what that is? That is a very fair point. This is technically like the 3rd singularity that Mordred has been a part of. I'm trying to think if there's anybody who's had part in more singularities than her now. Nero had her base form in Rome and Nero Bride in America. Liz was in Okeanos in America, but none of them beyond that. You know what? I can't think of anybody but Mordred having as many story appearances.
Well, whatever. I'm just glad I'll have allies I can count on to help me out this time. Since I finally have another chance to end Qin Shi Huang's life with my own hands, nothing else matters.
Exactly. Let us bring this oppressor to justice together.
Nobody plays king around me and lives to do it again.
Well, at least they should still be more help than Qin Wu Yang was. So I hate to impose on you guys so soon, but the enemy's wasting no time coming after us. There's a servant headed our way at high speed along with... Huh? Hang on. There's more of them now. This is weird. I'm seeing magical energy signals, but no vital signals.
Robots. Hey, I called it! Robots.
Soldiers, no, they can see they aren't human. Are those puppets perhaps some sort of automata? Correct, they may be silent, but they're soldiers nonetheless. Thanks to them, I'm finally able to make use of my true skills as a general. Those movements, I did not want to believe. It was. Be careful, Saber. It seems they've added to their ranks as well.
Hell yeah, they have. I don't know what this Lostbelt shit is about, but this is my battlefield now. Whatever you're trying to pull, you better believe I'm gonna smash it.
Well said. From now on, you will need to contend with we three musketeer.
No, none of that. Shame on you. I guess Sparty really liked that name. That's okay, Sparty. You're one of the three musketeers to me, man.
Heroic spirits who delight in battle and bloodshed. And bloodshed, huh? You make me sick. Make sure to finish them this time, Saber. Don't hold anything back.
Very well, Master. Then I shall end this with my secret attack.
Yeah, I've got a secret weapon as well. He's the oldest heroic spirit, the strongest heroic spirit, the king of heroes. Yeah, he's gonna wreck face. Puppet soldiers A, B, and C. These guys are actually decently beefy. And it did just occur to me that I brought casters to this. So I could very well end up losing Waver Merlin. They could very well be dead to me. I just need a lot of heal. He's got a chain next turn at least. Hmm. 10, 30 is 40, is 60 is 90. I think if we can NP, we do. This is all. I mean, this is 2 waves only, though. But keeping Merlin and Waver alive is kind of important. Yeah, I think we NP. If they survive, then we're guaranteed another NP for the next wave. And they do in fact survive, so we will have an NP in the next wave. At the very least. Thanks to the crit from Gil. 50% NP charge on a critical arts card, the last card. Very nice skill. Very nice. Alright, we got this. No issues. Hakuna Matata all the way. Alrighty. Gil's also a crit star generating machine here. Oh, he's got a break bar now. How precious. He thinks he's gonna be a threat to me with a break bar. You still have 60. We'll save that. And probably should have actually used the Merlin Invents, now that I think about it. We get the stun off. Yes! Nicely done, Wava. Nicely done. And actually, Waver's host is Chinese, right? So, wouldn't it make sense for Waver to get some sort of boost in this Lostbelt? Loving that overcharge game. Oh, fuck me. I should have expected that. Oh wait, no, okay, right, he's non-damaging NP. I recall now. Whew. Non-damaging NP for the win. And Mo is our servant of choice here. Crit strength is still a good plan as his NPCs start to gather. And give me some more stars. And more buster for Mo. And we should be good to go. The crit damage down does hurt, but we can't do anything about it. So, yeah. How much lessened is this gonna hit for? That's quite the crit damage down that you did to me, Prince. That is quite the critical damage down you did. Oh, that was easy. I was worried for nothing. Curses, I cannot believe that even my leadership is not enough to defeat them. Wearing a mask to boost his leadership capabilities, the level of influence over his forces that borders on a curse. That saber's true name is the Prince of Lanling, also known as Gao Chenggong of the Northern Key. Saber, stand down. You're going to regroup. But we cannot win this battle after your noble phantasm failed. We need a wholly new strategy. As you wish, Master. Enemy servant and master have retreated. Looks like we managed to survive again. Foo-foo! Are you alright, Soul? It must be difficult for you to be in combat given your condition. Oh no. It's worsening. I've got a fever now as well.
That's our master for you. I applaud your mental mettle and not succumbing to this disease.
Man, those soldier robot things turned out pretty freaking pathetic, huh? Can't believe this king uses them to fight his wars. I've seen scarier dolls. Yeah, I figured they never send reinforcements by rocket like that. Obviously, I was wrong. No more normal flesh and blood soldiers could have survived the impact, but it's no issue for these things.
Would it be possible to collect their remains? I'd like to study them further.
At a glance, they look a lot like the same kinds of automata we fought dozens of times before.
I'm interested in their energy source. I think it may shed some light on this world's inner workings.
What is it, Nessa? Something on your mind?
Yes, possibly. I would like to take a look at the remains as well.
Oh, because Nezha... Isn't Nezha technically also a robot? Is she thinking that they're prototype versions of her, perhaps? That would actually be kind of scary. And what is Kin's reaction going to be?
We saw your battle from here as well. You need not be bothered with a third attempt. Your servant alone is clearly no match for them.
I'm afraid not, Your Imperial Majesty.
Then we shall provide you with further assistance, although these servants are indeed formidable foes. Another 100 or 200 foot soldiers are unlikely to make much of a difference. Ah, what of your Jiang Yu?
Lord Jiang Yu, but he's...
And even now he remains one of our most helpful retainers. But it is when facing an unknown enemy that he shines brightest. It would be a waste to keep him confined to Jiang Yang under these circumstances, so we shall lend him to you. Make a good use of him.
I will, Your Imperial Majesty. Such unexpected delight, you're far too kind.
Still sending Jiang Yu out to the front line will require some time to prepare. In the meantime, keep a close eye on Chaldea and continue to ensure they do not attempt to take any action against our empire.
Yes, Your Imperial Majesty.
Well, I've never seen a Kuda get flustered before. Who knows she had a girlish side to her? That's it, I'm surprised you're bringing out Jiang Yu now, Your Imperial Majesty. Don't you think it's time you stopped playing around?
What a strange question. Do we appear to be treating this as a game to you, Konanskaya?
It's Koyan Skaya.
If you truly see Chaldea as a threat now, the sensible thing to do would be to wipe them out in a single overwhelming strike. And in your case, Your Imperial Majesty, you could accomplish that merely by lifting your little finger.
Yes, we could if we so desired.
And yet you still sent a Kuda Hinako out instead. This latest decision may have seemed like you taking things a bit more seriously, but you actually have no reason to believe it'll be a decisive blow. Be honest, Your Imperial Majesty, you aren't testing Chaldea, you're testing a Kuda Hinako, aren't you?
Indeed, we can quite clearly see the threat from Chaldean's post stems from being backed into a corner, so to speak. What we have yet to see is how Akuda will behave when she believes she has found a means to defeat them.
He still doesn't trust me or Akuda one bit, huh?
Well, I guess the king of this Lostbelt wouldn't be a fool, but I can't tell how seriously how this whole thing is being taken.
It's so much harder to read someone when you can't see their face.
He's behind that. He's behind this thing. Okay. I was wondering. So they don't actually see. Okay, that makes some sense.
On the other side, we underestimated these servants. We thought they would be little more than ghosts, but it seems they are quite skilled.
Yes, they are. The magecraft they use is very different from the sage arts your empire has cultivated.
So there's more to using servants than summoning the souls of decorated heroes and commanding them.
The difference between mere necromancy and heroic spirit summoning is that heroic spirits make contracts to serve their masters of their own free will.
So these dead souls lend their strength in response to existential threat faced by their world. Would you say that this is correct?
Oh, wait, no. Koryan Chihuahua.
Yes, exactly, Your Imperial Majesty. And once again, my name is Koyan Skaya.
I have a feeling he's just fucking with her at this point. He's just fucking with her hard.
What a horrific proposition. To think your world was so perilous, you could not even let the dead rest in peace. We would never permit such things to exist in our domain. Those who meet glorious ends would never think to threaten the peace of our world.
I'm sure. I doubt something like the counterforce would even ever take root here.
We dislike the idea of these guests hazing around with their ghosts, doing whatever they please. Fortunately, we have heroes sleeping here who are far more ferocious than mere ghosts. Is that not correct, Captain of the Guard?
Indeed, Your Imperial Majesty. Given this potential threat to our nation, I suggest we summon the ones sleeping in Mount Lee.
Yes, perhaps you're right. Some basic precautionary measures which should suffice. We command that the frozen heroes be awakened.
Yes, Your Imperial Majesty.
Oh, does this mean you're finally taking this seriously?
So very powerful figures are frozen and kept in cryostasis instead of letting them die. That's kind of not too nice. Unless they're brainwashed to serve the Empire. Also, we're getting a lot of these soundless bells.